Hər vaxtınız xeyir olsun, hörmətli tamaşaçılar. ASTV xəbərin saat 14 buraxılışını təqdim edirik. Studiyada Mümtaz Xəlilzadədir. Başlayaq anonslarla. Prezident İlham Əliyevin Euronews televiziyasına müsahibəsi yayımlandı. Braziliyada Azərbaycan və Ermənistan arasında qonşu ölkələr kimi etimadın gücləndirilməsini dəstəklədi. İsrail hərbiçiləri Qəzzada Həmas silahlılarına məxsus daha bir tunel tapdılar. Tunelin girişi məktəbin sinif otağında yerləşir. Avropada süni intellektdən istifadəni tənzimləyən qanunla bağlı ilkin razılıq əldə olundu. Bu, dünyada bir ilkdir. Yeni ildə qeyri-iş günləri açıqlandı. İndi isə ətraflı təqdim edirik. Prezident İlham Əliyev noyabrın 23-də Euronews televiziyasına müsahibə verib. Müsahibə bugün Euronewsda yayımlanıb. İndi həmin müsahibənin tam variantını sizə təqdim edirik.
Hello, Mr. President.
Hello.
Azerbaijan and countries of the Central Asia region experienced significant economic growth in 2023, according to estimates from the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. This strong growth is attributed to a high level of migration and remittances originating from Russia, which is under sanctions. Additionally, there has been an increase in regional exports and imports, including business with China. The outlook for 2024 shows the same positive trend. What does this growth mean for your country?
As far as Azerbaijan is concerned, our economic development and growth mainly is generated by our reforms rather than those factors which you mentioned. We managed to diversify our economy and to reduce dependence on oil and gas sector, though oil and gas sector continues to be the main part of our economy. This year, our economic growth is a little bit modest because of the slight decline of the oil production. But if we look at the past years, for the last 20 years, GDP of Azerbaijan grew more than 4 times. And that was a very remarkable achievement. And at the same time, we managed to conduct a very sophisticated social policy so that we managed to reduce the level of people who lived in poverty during the last 20 years from almost 50% to 5.5%. This demonstrates that the wealth generated by energy projects was fairly distributed between all segments of our population. We also worked actively in order to reduce the level of foreign debt, and now it is below 10% of our GDP. So the target for the next year is 7% of GDP, so this actually demonstrates the sustainability of Azerbaijan's economy. Next year, of course, we hope that the growth of economy will be higher. But at the same time, those figures, they do not actually reflect 100% the economic performance or living standards of the people. We know the countries which have very low economic growth, but with a very developed economy. So the bigger your GDP is, the more difficult is to add to that growth, especially in today's geopolitical situation, where 2 of our neighbors and one of the main trade partners, Russia and Iran, are under sanctions. Therefore, we need to take that into account. But our target and our strategy of 2030 is based on our own resources, our own financial capability, and investments, foreign and local, in the areas which will provide economic growth in the coming years.
What are your future areas of development and investments?
As far as the governmental policy is concerned, our state investment program mainly will be directed to the liberated areas of Karabakh and Eastern Zangezur. First, because we need to resettle former refugees as soon as possible. according to our plan, by the end of 2026, we plan to resettle more than 140,000 people. And for that, of course, we need to invest largely in infrastructure and housing projects and also social infrastructure projects. At the same time, this area, which has been for 30 years under occupation, possesses a big potential in the area of agriculture, hydro energy, solar and wind energy, and tourism. So that will be a main area of the state investment program. With respect to foreign investments, of course, investments in fossil fuel projects will continue because there is a big potential in Azerbaijan with respect to resources and big demand in Europe for Azerbaijani gas, growing demand. But very remarkable development is related to renewable sources of energy. So I think this will be the main direction of direct foreign investments. We already last month inaugurated the biggest in the region, 230 megawatt solar power plant, fully invested by foreign investors, and up to 10 gigawatt of solar and wind power generation is planned to be implemented within the next 5-6 years. So I think this will be the main areas of investments, along with our agenda on digital transformation.
Do you see competition in your region or rather a cooperation?
Well, as far as Azerbaijan is concerned, I see cooperation, and that is mainly because of the policy of our country. We always wanted to protect Azerbaijan from any kind of a rivalry, from any kind of a geopolitical struggle or battle between big powers, and I think we managed to achieve that. So Azerbaijan is considered as a reliable partner to many international actors, big international actors, and we see a real result of that cooperation, because if we look at the energy development in Azerbaijan, you'll see a broad international presence. If you look at the transportation sector, you'll see that both corridors, south, north, and east-west, crosses our country, and our neighbors are benefiting from that, many countries in different regions also. And if you see at the situation with respect to the political development also, Azerbaijan is a country with independent foreign policy, which conducts its policy based on national interests. And also one of the important factors, not to transform your country into the area of confrontation or competition, is to protect yourself from international influence, I mean bad influence, and attempts to interfere into your domestic affairs. So we successfully managed to diminish these risks, and that's why Azerbaijan now is a country with a big international potential, good international reputation, and a country which managed to attract more than $300 billion of investments during the last 20 years.
Energy supply has been a major topic for Europe over the last 2 years. What is your outlook for your country's energy business?
Well, our energy development transformed from oil to gas. At the same time, oil production and export still is an important part of energy security for many countries. But the completion almost 3 years ago, the major gas infrastructure project, Southern Gas Corridor, which is an integrated pipelines system of 3,500 kilometer length, it created opportunity for Azerbaijan to increase the geography of its gas supplies. Today we export gas to Georgia, Turkey, Greece, Bulgaria, Italy, Romania, and we signed contracts with Hungary, with Serbia, and also Albania also will be part of our gas distribution plans. So you see how many countries in Eurasia, mainly European countries, are our partners. And demand for Azerbaijani gas is growing, and we positively responded to the request from the European Commission to increase the gas supply to European continent with respect to the sanctions on Russia. And this will continue to be an important part of our business. At the same time, I already mentioned the renewable sources of energy. We have a very windy weather today in Baku, which is actually the normal weather condition, and we have a huge potential of wind, especially in the Caspian. So 10 gigawatt of solar and wind power generation projects have already been signed as contracts and MOUs. So that will allow Azerbaijan to have a very smooth transition from fossil fuels to renewables, at the same time to provide European consumers with green energy.
And what are your concerns about the risks to your country's economic development?
Frankly speaking, I don't see any risks because so far our economic development was very positive, even in a much more complicated geopolitical situation. Even during the times of occupation, our economy grew. And now when we totally restored our territorial integrity and sovereignty, and we are implementing a large-scale economic reforms which allow us to accumulate more funds into our budget. We have conducted a very successful reforms in the customs and taxes administration issues. We created a corporate management system in all our state-run companies, and we see the benefit of that. Of course, a lot of wealth will be generated from the connectivity projects, as I already mentioned, South-North and East-West transportation corridor. We expect tens of millions of cargo, additional, crossing Azerbaijan's territory in different directions. It means employment, it means additional funds, it means geopolitical importance of Azerbaijan. If you look at the map of our region of Eurasia, you'll see that all the major transportation routes cross our territory. And we've developed the most modern transportation infrastructure, so that will create additional opportunities. Plus, liberated territories of Karabakh and Eastern Zengezur, where we plan to resettle hundreds of thousands of former refugees. That will also be additional driver. So, frankly speaking, I don't see any potential risks neither in economic area nor in any other area of our country.
No risks at all?
For today, I don't see. Maybe potential risks may come from beyond our borders. Inside Azerbaijan, we don't have it. We have a very stable political system. We have a very based unity of our people, especially after the historical victory liberating our occupied territories. Our economic performance is successful. Our economy is self-sufficient. We do not depend on foreign loans. As I said, next year it will be 7% of GDP only. And if you look at our hard currency reserves and foreign debt, you'll see that our hard currency, 10 times is bigger than the debt. So in other words, we can within 1 month level our foreign debt. So not many countries in the world can do this. And the self-sufficient economy with good political connections with the major international actors and the political stability and unity in the country. So all these factors demonstrate that internal risks we don't have. External, yes, but that will depend on the situation beyond our borders. We have war beyond our borders to the north. We have an unstable situation in Middle East. We have potential tensions in the neighborhood. So that could be a potential risk for Azerbaijan. For that purpose, we need to pay bigger attention or more attention to the protection of our borders, so that our borders are open for friends and closed for those who want to do something harmful.
Okay. How a SPECA program is important for the economies of the participating countries?
Well, SPECA program today commemorates its 25th anniversary, and we decided, and I am grateful to our colleagues from Central Asia that supported our initiative to hold summit, which is the first summit in the history of SPECA program. Actually, this program is based on the economic interaction between Central Asia and Azerbaijan, which today we see the new dimension of that interaction. And if you look at the economic data, if you look at the dynamics of the bilateral visits, you will see that during the last 2 years, active interaction between Azerbaijan and all the Central Asian countries, and also between Central Asian countries, is unprecedented level, high. So this really is a new reality, and we need to capitalize on that. We have excellent relations with all countries of SPECA. We have a lot of investment projects now, Azerbaijan investments in Central Asia, Central Asian investments in Azerbaijan. We have connectivity projects of East-West Trans-Caspian transportation route, which for Central Asian countries is now one of the most attractive transportation connection with Black Sea, with Mediterranean, and with Europe through the integrated connectivity projects. And we see a lot of positive dynamics on the political track, because countries of SPECA in this difficult geopolitical situation today demonstrate stability. And this is one of the most important factors, because without stability, there's no investments, no economic development, and no security. So if you look at today's SPECA members, you'll see that Central Asia and Azerbaijan is an area of geopolitical stability, though the risks are just next door. And for countries of Central Asia, these risks are even higher than for Azerbaijan. So this must be taken as an important factor of success of these countries. 25 years ago, all of us, we were in a completely different situation with respect to the economic development, large-scale social problems, and also we were just in the first phase of our journey on the path of independence. So now we can already report about the success. And we organized an exhibition in Baku Expo Center. I think it is very illustrative to demonstrate what our countries, it's a small part of our achievement, but nevertheless, very illustrative demonstration of what we have done. Azerbaijan foreign policy priority, one of the priorities is more active cooperation with the countries of Central Asia. And we consider the summit, SPECA in Baku, as one of the factors which is part of that policy.
Azerbaijan's strategic geographical position between East and West places it in a pivotal location. What is the country's strategy on the international stage?
Well, on the national stage, we will continue to conduct independent policy. We are, for the 4th year, chairing the second after United Nations international institution non-aligned movement. We, according to the overall opinion of many member states, 120 member states, Azerbaijan played an important role in bringing a new dimension and dynamics to non-aligned movement. We made a lot of steps on institutional development of non-aligned movement, creating a parliamentary platform, youth platform, working on the creation of the women's platform. We were very active on COVID pandemic issue, providing assistance to more than 80 countries. So our chairmanship in non-aligned movement allowed us to demonstrate our policy, our capability, and our chairmanship, by the way, was extended for 1 year by unanimous decision. 120 countries, not all of them are in good terms with each other, but when it comes to Azerbaijan, all of them unanimously supported us. So this, I think, is the best demonstration of international support. Sometimes when some politicians talk about international community, they mean only maybe several dozens of countries, but international community is more than 200 countries. And majority of those countries support Azerbaijan. This is only one dimension. Our relations with our neighbors are well balanced and based on friendship and mutual interest. Our relations with European institutions also have its own positive dynamics. I already mentioned energy projects, how we support Europe when Europe asked us to provide that support. And we did it because we always try to help those who ask us for that. Our relations with the Muslim countries is an example of solidarity and partnership. Azerbaijan is considered as one of the most active members of Islamic Cooperation Organization. So this covers actually almost all the members of international community, and our policy always was aimed at providing support when somebody needs it and to demonstrate a friendly approach to all the countries. And now, after restoration of our territorial integrity and sovereignty, the ability of Azerbaijan on international arena, of course, will be much bigger. And international reputation of a country which on the battlefield defended its territory, its dignity, and implemented the resolutions of United Nations Security Council itself, of course, reputation of Azerbaijan is skyrocketing now.
In an interview with Euronews back this summer, you said that you hoped that peace between Armenia and Azerbaijan can be achieved by the end of the year. Do you still maintain this position that peace can be achieved, especially after tens of thousands had to leave their homes? And what is next for the dynamics of this region?
Well, yes, I was optimistic about the timetable because we exchanged several times with Armenia the comments on the original draft peace treaty which Azerbaijan elaborated itself. And after that, there have been 6 times of exchange of comments between two countries. And when I was talking about that last time to Euronews, I hope that Armenia will not prolong the process of evaluation of our comments. We submitted the last comments to them on 11 September and received a response from them only 2 days ago. So almost 2 months and a half, they were evaluating the draft, which consists of several pages. What does that mean? That means that they want artificially to delay the process. Now, we are talking in the end of November, and of course the hopes for achieving peace and signing peace treaty by the end of the year are not very optimistic. But I think that the timetable is not so important. Important is the agenda of both countries. It was Azerbaijan who suffered occupation, ethnic cleansing. Millions of Azerbaijanis were deported by Armenian government, and devastation of the territory of almost 15,000 square kilometers. And nevertheless, we were the country which made a proposal to sign peace agreement and to start working on the delimitation. So Armenia now, after Karabakh portfolio is closed, I think will be more willing to come to an agreement with us. Because after restoration of our sovereignty and elimination of the illegal separatist regime in Karabakh, I think the main factor which prevented Armenia to be more courageous on a negotiation track don't exist any longer. So we will evaluate the latest proposals, which, as I said, we received 2 days ago, and we'll comment on that. In the meantime, we are maintaining the contacts on the working level between different officials and through different channels. And I think there's no alternative for peace. If peace agreement is not signed, That will be very bad for the whole region. We want region of Southern Caucasus to get rid of any risks. And of course, we want Armenia today and in the future never put under question our territorial integrity and abandon completely any territorial claims to Azerbaijan.
So what are the conditions for peace to be achieved finally?
Well, we elaborated 5 basic principles for which should be the basis for peace agreement. Mutual recognition of each other's territorial integrity, non-use of force, no territorial claims to each other, opening of the communications between both countries, and normalization of relations, and several other important factors. All of those have been based on international law. During the 3 years, almost 3 years of negotiation process, Armenia always wanted to incorporate into peace agreement provision with respect to Armenian minority in Karabakh. Our position was that this is our internal business. And if they want to reflect the issue of Armenian minority in Azerbaijan, then let us reflect the issue of Azerbaijani minority in Armenia, which was expelled 30 years ago. And there have been much more Azerbaijanis in Armenia than Armenians in Azerbaijan, almost 300,000. So our position was that it must be reciprocal. Either we reflect these two issues of national minorities, their rights and security, including the right to return, not only Armenians to return to Azerbaijan, but Azerbaijanis to return to Armenia. It doesn't matter that Azerbaijanis were expelled 30 years ago and Armenians decided to leave 2 months ago. The fact is just it must be reciprocal. Or we do not comment in our peace agreement about this issue. So until now, we did not get from Armenia any clear understanding on that. So if Armenia agrees to have either the same language for both national minorities or not to reflect it at all, then the peace is reachable. Because this was the main obstacle for Armenia when they were negotiating with us. So we will see how it goes, and frankly speaking, I don't see now, from logical point of view, I don't see any serious obstacle to sign a peace agreement. We say we need to sign it, they say it, but we need to deliver. Our proposal was made public. Those famous 5 principles which I am talking about, we made it public. It is known. There is no, objection from any responsible international actor, because all these principles are fundamental principles of international law. And Armenia just need to comply with that. They should put an end to all the attempts to contest our territorial integrity and to sponsor separatism on our territory. Because Karabakh is part of Azerbaijan, and this is recognized by all, including Armenia itself. An Armenian Prime Minister, the same person who in 2019 in Xankəndidə at the big rally said Karabakh is Armenia, and that was the end of negotiation process, because after that there was nothing to negotiate. So actually the reason for Second Karabakh War was exactly Armenian government. And now the same person says Karabakh is Azerbaijan. So it's good, it's evolution. We always support evolution, but now saying Karabakh is Azerbaijan, they need to put a signature under that, and we're waiting for that.
And what about those people who left their homes?
Those people who left their homes, first of all, that was their own decision. Our public communications with Karabakh Armenians, and also what we did after, demonstrated that we wanted them to stay. We openly announced that, and I, during my appeal after the end of anti-terror operation to Azerbaijani people, said that they can stay. We opened the electronic portal of registration, All of those who want to come back, they have their right. Their property is duly protected. All the historical and religious sites are duly protected. In order to come back, they need to comply with certain regulations. And I was saying that many months before the anti-terror operations, those who want to stay, they need to apply for Azerbaijani citizenship, because how people can live in Azerbaijan being a citizen of other country, either citizenship or work permit or residence permit. They cannot live in Azerbaijan saying that they live in so-called Nagorno-Karabakh Republic, because Nagorno-Karabakh so-called republic do not exist. They invented it in their dreams, in their mythology. And if they want to live in Azerbaijan as citizens of Azerbaijan, of course they can. Azerbaijan is a multi-ethnic country, multi-confessional country. We have many ethnic groups in Azerbaijan. Some of these ethnic groups, the number of these ethnic groups, people who belong to them, is much bigger than Armenian population in Karabakh. And all of them live in peace, they enjoy all the rights and security. And in our proposal to Karabakh Armenians, which was, by the way, published, we also covered their rights for their language, for education, religion, municipal rights. They can elect their representatives through municipal elections and continue to live there. The decision to leave was their own decision, and according to information which we now have access to, that was a deliberate act of former so-called leaders of so-called Nagorno-Karabakh Republic. There was no need for them to leave, but when they decided to leave, we could not stop them. And we provided maximum comfort for them to live in peace. Unlike Azerbaijanis, who either have been killed 30 years ago or been deported, tortured, arrested, and some of them had to cross high mountains and were just frozen to death in those mountains. All that was documented en route. All that was also documented when Armenians of Karabakh region entered Armenia. So all was done in line with humanitarian standards. But again, coming back to the question, they can come back. Of course, they need to register in the electronic portal, which we opened and which is available, that they want to come back, they want to take Azerbaijani citizenship. Several of them already applied for citizenship, and it is now in the process. Some Armenians decided to stay in Karabakh, and now they've been taken care of by our Ministry of Social Protection and Ministry of Migration. They registered. Not completely everybody left, but in order to live in Azerbaijan, for instance, if you want to live in Azerbaijan, what should you do? You should get a work permit, residence permit if you want to live for a long time, or citizenship. So how can you live in Azerbaijan being a citizen of, say, other country? It's not possible. The same is here. If Azerbaijani refugee who was expelled from Armenia wants to come back there, how he will come back? He will not come back and say, I'm here, resident of Western Azerbaijan Republic. No, he will come and apply for citizenship or work permit. Why should it be different here? And that's how it will work only. And through municipal elections, they can elect their representatives, which will be in charge of municipalities. All this information was delivered to Armenian representatives of Karabakh just after the anti-terror operation. And then when we realized that they did not make it public to the population of Karabakh, we made it public, we published it. So this is a legal process based on international norms and standards. Again, I'd like to say that Azerbaijan is a multi-ethnic country, and no ethnic group in Azerbaijan ever had any concerns or any problems based on their religious or ethnic grounds. And anyone who knows Azerbaijan can confirm that. And by the way, today we have Armenian population living in different parts of Azerbaijan without any problems. Armenians and Azerbaijanis living side by side in Russia, living side by side in Ukraine, and even in the same villages in Georgia. And why they cannot live in Azerbaijan or in Armenia? I think they can.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Azərbaycan Respublikası Prezidentinin administrasiyası və Ermənistan Respublikasının baş nazirinin aparatının yaydığı birgə bəyanata xarici ölkələrdən münasibətlər gecikməyib. Belə ki, Braziliya hökuməti iki ölkənin sülh sazişi əldə etmək niyyətlərini məmnunluqla qeyd edib. Birgə bəyanatda əksini tapan məhbusların qarşılıqlı azadlığa buraxılması, Ermənistanın Azərbaycanın COP29-a ev sahibliyi etmək üçün namizədliyini dəstəkləməsi müsbət hal kimi qeyd olunub. Braziliya tərəfi həmçinin Cənubi Qafqazda yeni dövrün başlanmasına təkan verən bu təşəbbüsə görə hər iki ölkəni təbrik edib. İsrail ordusu Qəzzanın cənubu və mərkəzinə avia zərbələri davam etdirir. Həlak olanların sayı isə durmadan artır. İsrail hərbçiləri anklavda Həmas silahlılarına məxsus daha bir gizli tuneli tapıblar.
İsrail Müdafiə Qüvvələri Qəzza zolağında bir məktəbin sinif otağında Həmas tunelinin girişini aşkarlayıb. Bu barədə ordunun mətbuat xidməti məlumat yayıb. Qəzzanın mərkəzindəki Şücaya məscidinə aparan tunelin girişi şəhər məktəblərindən birinin sinif otağının içərisində yerləşir. Həmas məktəbləri uşaqlar üçün təhlükəsiz yerlərdən terror sığınacaqlarına çevirib, deyə ordunun mətbuat xidmətinin X sosial şəbəkəsində dərc edilən bəyanatında bildirilir. Qəzzada Həmasa qarşı hücumları intensivləşdirən İsrail ordusu anklavın cənubu və mərkəzinə yenidən hava zərbələri indirib. Fələstinin Vəfa Agentliyinin məlumatına görə İsrail hərbçilərinin Qəzza zolağındakı yaşayış məntəqələrinə son hava hücumları nəticəsində onlarla insan ölüb və ya yaralanıb. Təkcə Xan Yunisdə yaşayış evlərindən birinə indirilən avia zərbədə 10 nəfər həlak olub. Sakinlər baş verənlərdə Amerika Birləşmiş Ştatlarını ittiham edirlər.
Silah göndərən Amerikadır. Döyüş gəmiləri 20 ildə Qəzzanı mühasirəyə alır. Bu silahlar və raketlər Amerikada, qərb ölkələrində istehsal olunub. Çünki onlar gəncləri, uşaqları, qadınları və qocaları öldürməkdə İsraili dəstəkləyir. Allah yardımcımız olsun. Amerika BMT-də və hər yerdə atəşkəsə veto qoyur. Bu veto Amerika silahları ilə gecə-gündüz atışmalarda öldürülən insanlara qarşıdır.
Yeri gəlmişkən İsrailin hərbi əməliyyatları nəticəsində Qəzza zolağında son 24 saat ərzində azı 310 fələstinli həlak olub. Bu barədə Əl-Cəzirə telekanalı BMT-yə istinadən məlumat yayıb. Avər Əliyeva, Fərdi Abbasova, ASTV Xəbər.
ABŞ, Cənubi Koreya və Yaponiya liderlərinin milli təhlükəsizlik üzrə müşavirləri BMT Təhlükəsizlik Şurasının Pxenyanla bağlı qətnamələrinə əməl olunması ilə əlaqədar razılığa gəliblər. Müvafiq razılaşma Şimali Koreyanın orbitə daha çox kəşfiyyat peyki buraxmağı planlaşdırması fonunda əldə olunub. Seulda keçirilən görüşdən sonra çıxış edən Birləşmiş Ştatlar Prezidentinin milli təhlükəsizlik üzrə müşaviri Jake Sullivan müdafiə sahəsində üç tərəfli əməkdaşlığı genişləndirəcəklərini bildirib.
Biz müdafiə sahəsində, o cümlədən real zaman kəsiyində raket buraxılması xəbərdarlığı ilə bağlı məlumatların paylaşılması sahəsində üçtərəfli əməkdaşlığı genişləndiririk. Biz həmçinin kibercinayətkarlıq, kriptovalyuta, çirkli pulların yuyulmasından tutmuş məsuliyyətsiz kosmik və balistik raket sınaqlarına qədər Koreya Xalq Demokratik Respublikasından gələn təhdidlərə qarşı yeni üçtərəfli təşəbbüslərə başlamışıq. Söhbət Koreya Xalq Demokratik Respublikasından gedirsə, biz sayıqlığı itirmirik. Çünki o, beynəlxalq sülh və təhlükəsizliyə, eləcə də regional sülh və təhlükəsizliyə təhdid olmağa davam edir.
Qvatemala baş prokurorluğunun prezident seçkilərinin nəticələrinin ləğvi ilə bağlı məhkəməyə müraciət etməsi ölkədə siyasi böhranı dərinləşdirib. Prokurorluq avqustda keçirilən seçkilərdə bir sıra qanun pozuntularının aşkar edildiyi, bu səbəbdən nəticələrin etibarsız olduğu qənaətinə gəlib. Ölkənin Ali Seçki Məhkəməsi isə seçkinin nəticələrinin qanuni olduğunu bəyan edib. Qurumun açıqlamasında deyilir ki, nəticələr rəsmidir və Konstitusiya Məhkəməsinin qərarı olmadan dəyişdirilə bilməz. İtaliyada xəstəxanalardan birində güclü yanğın insan tələfatına səbəb olub. Tivoli şəhərində qeydə alınan hadisə nəticəsində 4 nəfər həlak olub, 200 pasiyent təxliyə edilib. İlkin ehtimala görə yanğına qazanxanada baş verən partlayış səbəb olub. Bakının Binəqədi rayonunda bir neçə gün ərzində ard-arda odlu silahlar polisə təhvil verilib. Belə ki, ayrı-ayrı vətəndaşlar, onlarda olan ümumilikdə 3 ədəd Makarov, 1 ədəd Naqan, 1 Kustar üsulundan hazırlanan tapançanı, 1 RPK-74 markalı avtomatı, eləcə də 21 ədəd müxtəlif çaplı patron və 5 sandıqçanı könüllü olaraq polisə təhvil veriblər. Moskvada Azərtac Dövlət İnformasiya Agentliyinin təşkilatçılığı ilə Ulu Öndər Heydər Əliyevin 100 illik yubileyinə həsr olunan fotosərgi açılıb. Sərgi Heydər Əliyev fondunun Rusiya nümayəndəliyinin nəzdində fəaliyyət göstərən Azərbaycan Mədəniyyət Mərkəzinə xeyli ziyarətçi toplayıb. Burada Azərtacın fotoxronikasında saxlanılan və ümummilli lider Heydər Əliyevin həyat və fəaliyyətinin müxtəlif dönəmlərini əks etdirən 50-yə yaxın unikal fotoşəkil sərgilənir. Sərgi bir ay ərzində fəaliyyət göstərəcək.
Burada elə şəkillər var ki, mən bunları ilk dəfə görürüm. Çox maraqlıdır və mən şadam ki, burada Moskvada belə gözəl sərgi təşkil olunub. Ümumiyyətlə, qeyd etmək istərdim ki, Rusiyada Heydər Əliyevin 100 illiyi çox geniş qeyd olunur. Demək olar ki, Böyük Rusiyada Vladivostokdan başlayaraq Kaliningradını qutarmış bütün böyük və balaca şəhərlərdə müxtəlif sərgilər, tədbirlər, toplantılar keçirilib.
Heydər Əliyevin xatirəsi Rusiyada hər zaman böyük ehtiramla anılıb və mən əminəm ki, bu sərgi də Rusiyalı tamaşaçıların böyük marağına səbəb olacaq.
Heydər Əliyev zəngin dövlətçilik təcrübəsi ilə Azərbaycanı müstəqillik yolunda inkişaf etdirməyə nail olub, müasir Azərbaycan reallığını yaradıb. Bu fikirlər Heydər Əliyevin 100 illik yubileyi çərçivəsində Heydər Əliyev və Yeni Azərbaycan adlı tədbirdə səslənib. Onun siyasətinin milli mənəvi dəyərlərə, dövlətçilik maraqlarına və çağdaş reallıqlara uyğun davam etdirilməsi Azərbaycanın sabitlik və sürətli inkişaf yoluna çıxarıb. Bugün tarixi dəyərlərlə müasir reallıqların vəhdətinə əsaslanan Azərbaycançılıq ideologiyasına və dövlətçilik ideyasına söykənən Heydər Əliyev siyasəti Azərbaycana parlaq nailiyyətlər qazandırır. Üç gün davam edən gərgin danışıqlardan sonra Avropa İttifaqı Şurası ilə Avropa Parlamenti arasında süni intellektdən istifadəni tənzimləyən qanunla bağlı ilkin razılıq əldə olunub. Bu barədə İspaniyanın Şuradakı nümayəndəliyi məlumat yayıb. Sözügedən təşəbbüsün məqsədi Avropa İttifaqında satılan və istifadə olunan süni intellekt sistemlərinin təhlükəsizliyini və cəmiyyətin fundamental hüquq və dəyərlərinə hörməti təmin etməkdir. Qanun layihəsi Avropa Parlamenti və Avropa İttifaqına üzv olan bütün ölkələr tərəfindən təsdiqlənəndən sonra
These robots aren't assembling cars. They're the big attraction in Beijing's latest.
Hörmətli tamaşaçılar, Avropanın ən böyük xəbər kanalı Euronews tamaşaçılarını Azərbaycan təbiəti və mədəniyyəti ilə tanış etməkdə davam edir. Kanalın növbəti reportajında Pirqulu Dövlət Təbiət Qoruğundan bəhs olunur.
Euronews söz efirində yenidən Azərbaycandan bəhs edib. Çinisiya Ritsinin hazırladığı reportajda paytaxt Bakıdan 130 kilometr qərbdə Şamaxı yaxınlığında yerləşən Pirqulu Dövlət Təbiət Qoruğundan danışılır. Pirqulu mənzərələrindən zövq alan Euronewsun müxbiri qeyd edib ki, bu bölgə turistləri yalnız yürüyüş turizmi ilə yox, həm də sıx meşələri və fauna müxtəlifliyi ilə özünə heyran edir.
Which kind of flora and fauna can we find here?
Halad ağacı deyilən bizdə məşhur ağaclardır, meşələr hamısı. Sonra burada heyvanlardan ayı var, sonra canavar var, vəhşi heyvanlardan. Tülkü olur burada, hətta qaban da olur, qaban.
Trails for all kinds of abilities here, from the easiest to the most challenging. You can indeed observe the landscape from above.
Bölgədə həmçinin digər turizm növləri də inkişaf edir. İyun ayında Şamaxıda Azərbaycanın ilk şar festivalı keçirilib.
A hot air balloon festival was inaugurated in Şamaxı last June.
İlk festivalımızı keçirtdik, çox böyük marağa səbəb oldu, çox böyük turistlərimizin marağına səbəb oldu və eləcə də yerli əhalimizin. Ümumiyyətlə, bu il keçirtdiyimiz festival göstəriş xarakterli bir festival idi. Əsasən biz hazırlaşırıq üzümüzə gələn ilk festivala və o festival daha böyük, daha maraqlı olacaqdır inşallah.
Reportajda Şamaxıda inkişaf edən şərabçılıq barədə xüsusi danışılıb.
We are here at the peak of the harvest season. The time has come for me to get to work.
Deməli, bu bizim yerli mədrəsə üzüm növümüzdür. Qırmızı üzüm növüdür. Bundan biz qırmızı şərab düzəldirik. Onun dadına baxa bilərsiniz.
Okay, I try.
Ətrafdakı təpələrdə müxtəlif növ üzüm yetişdirilir. Bölgədə məşhur şərabların və konyak istehsalı inkişaf edir. Buranın iqlimi və torpağı qədim dövrlərdə üzümçülük üçün son dərəcə əlverişli olub. Bugün həmin ənənə yeni bir dövrə qədəm qoyur. Yerli şərabçılar ölkənin ilk Avropa Birliyi sertifikatını almış şərablarını istehsal etməyə başlayırlar. Müəllif həmçinin Pirquluda fəaliyyət göstərən observatoriya haqqında da danışmağı unutmayıb. Rövşən İlyasov, AzTV xəbər.
Turizmdən söz düşmüşkən, qarşıda bizi gözləyən bayram günlərində tətil planlarını düşünməyin tam vaxtıdır. Belə ki, artıq bayramda qeyri-iş günləri də açıqlanıb. Nazirlər Kabinetinin qərarı ilə yeni il bayramında 7 qeyri-iş günü olacaq. Bundan başqa gələn il martın 20-dən 24-ünə dək Novruz bayramı, aprelin 10-u 11-i Ramazan bayramı, iyunun 16-sı 17-si isə Qurban bayramı ilə əlaqədar qeyri-iş günləri müəyyən edilib. 051-511-1956 bizim qaynar xəttimizdir, hörmətli tamaşaçılar. Zəng edib qarşılaşdığınız hadisələr, mövzular, təklif və iradlarınız barədə məlumat verə bilərsiniz. WhatsApp və Telegram hesabımız da 24 saat aktivdir. AzTV xəbəri təqdim etdik. Diqqətiniz üçün təşəkkür edirik. Saat 16-da yenidən görüşəcəyik.